the classic bullet is 240 grains. In the rifle, I tend to buy the flat nose, round nose, flat point bullets. Get you a closer look at that because they cycle easier. The classic semi-wad cutter, the Keith bullets that have sharper edges don't cycle sometimes as smoothly in a lever gun. So I usually buy those. They're easy to get. I get them from Laser Cast. They're very simple to find because of all the cowboy shooters out there shooting lever guns like this. And one note about that, I've been shooting 44 Magnum since 1974 by the thousands, and I'd always thought I ought to get a rifle. It'd be kind of nice, since I load so much and always have a bucket full of 44 Magnum rounds around. But I really didn't get around to that before a couple of years ago. Well, unfortunately, I had a surprise, and the rounds that I had been firing and loading, the 240 grain cast bullets that everybody loads for the last 30 years and having lots of success with, very accurate in any 44 revolver I've ever shot them in, or 44 special. Well, in this gun, they were keyholing, they were tumbling, even at 20 yards. I put up some paper just to get my sights adjusted and ready to go. Well, on the paper at 20 yards, they were tumbling. They were going in sideways. These are the bullets that I'd had so much, it just did fine in all my revolvers. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and those buckets of bullets I had loaded for my revolvers just weren't going to work. So I had to make sure I was getting a bigger cast bullet. This rifle wants 431 diameter bullets. In the past, you can generally buy, I don't want to get too technical, but when you buy 44 Magnum or special cast bullets, they're usually in 429, 430, 431. You can probably get them in 432, diameter. Which also, to get even more technical, you realize that a 44 Magnum is really not a 44 caliber gun. It's actually a 43. Because you're talking 429, 430. That's 43 caliber. But it needed a bigger bullet. It needed a 431, thousandths, in order to function and be accurate. I also discovered I needed to change powder for this. So I'm using 2400 powder, and there's some others that would work as well, I'm sure. So once I got some of the Laser Cast 431 diameter bullets, I changed to 2400 powder. Shoots great. All right. So that's just kind of a note for you folks that have shot a lot of 44. Maybe you have the same thing maybe in mind. Just be aware that if you get a Marlin rifle, it might have a slightly bigger bore than the handguns you're used to firing. All right. So once I got that worked out, it's not a problem now. Okay. So that said, let's take a few shots. I'm going to shoot some of the standard 240 grain bullets. Then I also load a bunch of 300 grain bullets. These are Laser Cast. They weigh 300 grains. That's a heavy bullet. All right. So I thought, why not? It's a rifle. I don't like to shoot those much in a pistol. They're not a lot of fun. They have a nice little kick to them. But in the rifle, it doesn't really matter. So first I'm going to shoot the lighter bullets. If 240 is light, I'm going to shoot here close by a few of these. And I'll shoot the others a little bit further. Boy, I don't.
Code. Second Amendment here.
Change in sight picture that I'll miss everything. I don't really like to shoot these targets close here with a 44 Magnum too much. I just had to put $100 worth of welding on my swinging plate thing here. So I think it's pretty strong, but I'll take a few shots at it with these 44 Magnums that are pretty warm. And I think it'll be all right. All right, let's back up a little bit here. I know you like to see it up close. There goes that empty case I was telling you about. You notice that swings them, doesn't it? A little bit more than the 9 millimeter. Yeah, thought I had one more, maybe not. Okay, yeah, that's 10. So those were 240 grain bullets, and simple to shoot. When I'm shooting those swinging plates with a pistol, there's not much of a margin of error. If you've never shot an 8-inch plate, by the way, with a handgun, I know that
8-inch plate. What's the diameter of a human head? It's about 8 inches.
doesn't look that far away, and it's not. It's 20 yards, 21, 22, whatever. Next time you're at the range, set your target stand at 20, 22, 3 yards, and put some 8-inch stickers on it.
A pie plate.
Bam, try to hit it pretty fast. It's a very small target. There's one of the advantages of having it on paper. You can see where you're missing. The other thing about plates, or 8-inch plates, any plate for that matter, when you miss it, you don't necessarily know where your bullet went. You don't know whether you shot high, low, left, right, necessarily. And so it adds to the challenge even further. But an 8-inch plate can be a real aggravation, believe me. And those of you who have shot them a lot, you know what I'm talking about. But what I was going to make is,
that's older man. He has a lot of Vietnam friends, and when you're trying to hit an 8-inch pie plate from, 50, 100 yards, even 20 yards.
with his rifle, I mean, he can miss one, of course, but it's just like, shooting a barrel, 55-gallon drum. It's just with good sights, just a lot of fun. All right. Let's load up some of these big boys now. 300 grains. Now, I say bear loads, but they're not exactly ear splitters, but they're pretty warm. They ought to knock over.
Ear splitters, basically, never mind.
Anything I hit with them, put it that way. They might not. As I've said before, the excuses I've made before, sometimes those steel targets, they get set a little harder than other times. If there's something under the pedestal, some dirt, just whatever it might be.
It's basically like those targets are replicas of people, humans, human targets. And, the knocking force. And the thing is, talking about sandbags and, dirt or whatever else, talking about some armor.
They just don't want to fall, and they are very heavy. They're very heavy. Well, let's try a few of them here.
Heavy armor.
I think I can take about the same sight picture with these heavy ones. I'm not sure. Oh, let's see. Okay, they're all going to roll over. 3 with 1 shot, not bad. Yeah. All right.
You hear that gong? That's all the way at the top. And so that's actually going uphill and stuff. So, that's kind of, if you can calculate that drop, that's a good trajectory. Like, it's going to hit with that force. But, I'm not a weapons expert or anything of the sort, but this is basically, there's modifications out there. There's a lot of fancy gimmicks and such, pistol carbines. But, this is probably like one of the best because, need a little bit more research. And actually, let me just do that to confirm the thought.
A lever gun is a blast. It is a blast. 44 Magnum for a lot of people makes more sense. I have this in 45 Colt, and since I hand load, there's virtually no difference. Really. And, in fact, it's easier because the same bullets I can use in my revolvers, my 45 Colts, I can use in my Marlin. I don't have to, go through that change I was talking about earlier, how the bore is a little bit bigger. on this 44 than it is on my revolver, so I don't have that issue to deal with. But for a lot of people, if you're just picking up your ammo at Walmart when you can find it, in 44 Magnum, one of these is a blast. Now, I will say, too, I don't have that issue with factor ammo. If you're buying just jacketed rounds, hunting rounds, you're picking up an expensive box of 44 Magnum jacketed ammo, you almost have to take a second mortgage to buy that these days, don't you? But it functions fine in here. It shoots great.
I mean, see, basically, a handgun and a rifle and one ammo. Like that, and the thing is that extremely reliable. You don't have to worry about magazines. Instead of carrying magazines, you can carry ammo, which conserves weight and space. Definitely. Definitely, nearly isn't nearly as quick, but it's not like it's I mean, it's not Warzone and shit like that. The thing is that it provides a very solid purpose, has very great stopping power, with 150 yards, and it's versatile. You know, um,
Aha, fun. That's fun too. Look at him lie there and die. Oh, we're empty. Okay, Hickok 45 here with a chapter 2 on the Ruger PC carbine. I think we told you we would try to get hold of another one when it was available. They are available at all, and we would try this thing again. Okay, we had fun with the first one. We had some malfunctions, and here and there, and it was just one firearm, so we'll see. We thought we'd get another one and give it another opportunity to perform, and that's what we're doing, okay? So, again, I requested from budsgunshop.com, so we appreciate their...
notice the pistol grip, right? I mean, that's basically, I just noticed, like, that buttstock, like, right where the, right there. The gun is... So...
help being able to
and it just has a forward receiver, and what that means is that the ammo is fed from in front. Like it's a pistol. It's I don't think it's actually classified as a pistol because a pistol has a receiver in the handle, whereas the magazine is fed through the front.
get that for us, and all the other things they do. You shoot federal ammo, same kind of ammo, 144 grain, full metal jacket, kind of very common. Some HST, 147 grain. We'll do that. And again, don't forget, if you're not a member of the NRA, go to our description and click on the link and join at a discount. All right? More important now than ever. Shot something, 5 or 6 or 7 from about 6 or 7 different magazines. And I didn't have functions. And that's kind of what my goal was to do, is try a variety of magazines. They're all Glock magazines, but, a couple of long ones. It's a Gen 5 mag, and, just different mags. Some of them are older, some are younger. and see how it was doing. And so far, I'm happy to report I've had no malfunctions. I had one bump fire experience where it fired a couple times, and I guess I didn't have it tightly against my shoulder. And that seems to be characteristic of it. If you don't get her nestled into your shoulder tight. Plus, I put this...
You hear that? Oh, shit. You hear that, though?
And see how it was doing. And so far, I'm happy to report I've had no malfunctions. I had one bump fire experience where it fired a couple times, and I guess I didn't have it tightly against my shoulder. And that seems to be characteristic of it. If you don't get her nestled into your shoulder tight. Plus, I put this slip-on pad on it. Rather than, like I did the other one, I put a couple of the spacers in there, I believe, to make it fit me perfectly. And so whoever has it now...
So, yeah. Adjustable buttstock.
has a longer length of pull than they might want. So I won't do that on this one. I'll just, because this will go back to e-gunner as well from Buds, and I will just use this for me, okay? Because the odds are most people, I would guess, don't need extra spacers there because, you know, in the words of the wise old Hickok 45, most people are average, right? And I'm not in a lot of ways, right? Okay, so I have a longer length of pull than most people. Now, I can't be grabbing Ruger magazines, but I can be grabbing some of these others. Okay, let's see how it's going to do. Why don't we just go ahead with some hollow points? I suspected on that other one there might have been something to do with the weight on those. And before we fire them, let me double check and see if those are, I don't recall, sorry. I want to see if those are plus P or not. Yeah, these are plus P, okay? And that back in there. All right, fun little gun. I've been enjoying this one more. Let's go over there and pop a gong. Yeah, red plate on the left. Boom, and a pig. Wow. Go buffalo hunting. Oh, I got enough on him. It took the last 3 or 4 of them to roll him over. I remember back in Wyoming when I used to do a lot of buffalo hunting, I'd have to do that. If I was hunting with a 9mm, you'd have to put 4 or 5 on them right away.
Basically, I'm pretty sure he's talking about his time in service there. And so there's a lot of subtle cues. Pay attention to Hickok 45. It is a true American, a true YouTuber. Give him support. Take care, be safe, be kind. Excuse me. Take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong. Love you all. Of course, wait till the end to freaking mess it all up. Story of my life.